Can I get some claps in the comments for Chris Avellone? I hope I'm saying his last name right, but, you know, after what I did to Doug Naples' last name, who knows? But with that being said, you know, I really am just so excited to hear these people who work in the gaming industry, I guess in the entertainment industry in general. I love hearing these stories of these people actually taking a stance against the political statements that a lot of these companies are trying to make now, and I just love the outrage that it creates, because it shows that there really is a huge problem in the entertainment industry, in the media in general, where everything is completely obsessed about politics, and it's a huge problem. It is a huge problem, and the problem of it is that the reason that it's a problem is because these companies, these media outlets, are trying to promote a one-sided stance on politics, and if you go against that one-sided stance of politics, then you are vilified. And that is kind of what's happening to Chris Avellone now. So I would recommend, if you guys want to, go find him on Twitter and follow him. He actually has a really great Twitter feed, so I highly recommend it. Go check him out on Twitter. But let's go ahead and get into this article, and we can talk about what's going on here. So Planescape Torment writer Chris Avellone criticized for belief that it's possible to do apolitical games. Let's see here. In a VG247 piece published on May 31st titled "Can Stories Be Apolitical?" we asked some video game writers and narrative designers. Deputy editor Kirk McKeand interviewed 3 writers: Treachery and Beatdown City writer Sean Alexander Allen, Mirror's Edge and Rise of the Tomb Raider writer Rihanna Pratchett, and Avellone regarding their thoughts on the potential for games to avoid being political. Pratchett noted, a story could be apolitical, but it wouldn't be very interesting as a story. It wouldn't have anything to say about the world or our place in it. And I highly, highly disagree with what he's saying here. You can tell a good story without it being political. I mean, it's not complicated. It's just not. I could spout off like 100 video games, movies, all of that type of stuff that don't get into American politics per se, or just our political climate in general, that are just fantastic stories. It's not that complicated. And it just shows how big of a problem we have right now with the entertainment industry, where they feel like they can't tell a story without putting their political ideologies in it. And Allen agreed. It's easier to make stories that accidentally uncover our own understanding of the world and expose our personal politics than it is to not. So basically, you're just taking the easy route to tell stories. That's also a huge, huge problem. That's terrible to hear. But Avellone, the hero of the day, has some great, awesome things to say. So are you guys ready to get into what he's going to say here? Just this is just fantastic. I love everything that he's saying here. They may become political as societal norms change, but I believe it's possible to do apolitical games. I also don't condone developers who want to do political games or make a statement. I think a game is served better by asking a question, provide a range of perspectives on the question, but then leaving the answer to the player. I try to frame any politics in the parameters of the world, the lore, and the franchise. Holy crap, I love that so much. That is probably one of the greatest statements I've ever seen from someone in the entertainment industry talking about politics. Let me just repeat that, because it is just so good. I think a game is served better by asking a question, provide a range of perspectives on the question, but then leave the answer to the player. Seriously, dude, you need to just like give, I don't know, some sort of educational class to everyone working in the entertainment industry. That is the best statement I've ever heard. I just love that so much. The reason I take this approach is because I view games as entertainment, as normal people should. If you're purposefully if you're purposely pushing an agenda or point of view in your game, especially a real world one that's clearly divorced from the game world, and you're dictating that perspective as correct versus asking a question or examining the perspective more broadly, then it's left the gaming realm and the game has become a pulpit. Preach, brother, preach. I know, kind of an ironic thing to say after he's talking about the pulpit, but yeah. That's, I just love that. I love that. When I do apolitical design, I don't view the narrative as having nothing to say. Instead, the stories may have something to say in the context of the game world. The game's commentary may be simply on the game world, gods, factions, or some other aspect of the lore or franchise itself, and ideally, the player is part of the story and not simply there to passively listen to what the game is saying, but what they can bring to the story and the world through interacting with it. I think a game, especially a role-playing game, can have a considerable amount to say by examining what the player brings to the equation and players asking themselves what kind of character and what kind of player they are when confronted with a situation that's not clearly black and white. I totally agree with everything he's saying here. I think that what he's saying here is just spot on. It's just spot on. He is preaching entertainment gospel right now, to be completely honest. Avellone believes that games should present players with multiple perspectives, which lead them to question various political ideas within the context of the game world, and then explore them independently in relation to the real world, rather than browbeating the player with one specific viewpoint through ham-fisted real-world political allegories. That is just... This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. Now, he continues on here. Wait, let's see here. Avellone is not the only industry figure who holds this view towards politics and games. Earlier this year, Forbes senior contributor Eric Kane, following the release of Ubisoft's Division 2, said that while the games are a great way... Oh yeah, this is talking about the... This is talking about the Division 2. We're not going to get into that right now, but you can go back and look at this if you want to right here. But, however, Avallone's statements were quickly met with harsh criticism and dismissed by numerous figures across multiple facets of the video game industry who believe that video games are and should be inherently political. That is a huge problem. Those who disagreed with Avellone included Scott Benson, co-creator of Night in the Woods and creative director at the Glory Society. If we use a very thin and specific definition of political tailored to this answer, then yes, I'd say my games are apolitical. Avellone is right when he says that future context can impart political meaning to a work beyond the intention of the author, but that's also true of the present, and generally people know this when they make things, and choosing not to engage with that is, in fact, doing apolitics. I don't even really know what he's trying to say here. Like, what? Avellone is right when he says that future context can impart political meaning to a work beyond the intention of the author, but that's also true of the present, and generally people know this when they make things and choose not to engage with that is, in fact, doing apolitics. Okay, that dude doesn't even make sense, so I don't even know. Todd Harper, a visiting lecturer in the simulation and game design program at the University of Baltimore. Nothing made by human beings can be apolitical. There you go. Enjoy some basic ass 101 level sociology media studies, which I totally disagree with. I completely disagree with, and these people are completely missing the point of what Avellone is saying. Avellone is saying, leave it up to the players to decide what they want to base their politics on. Don't try to force your politics on your players. That's pretty much all that Avellone is saying. Spoiler alert, this apolitical state video games have been chasing forever and were vociferously, I've never even heard of that word in my life, the past 5 years is really just a rephrasing of, I don't like thinking that my actions have consequences. What? These people don't even make sense. Do these people know what video games are? That's what my question is right now. Like, what the heck? Like, the whole games are actually about fun thing, though Why do you have to bring politics in my game thing? It's just a game thing. All of them are planets orbiting the all too nearby star. I don't like thinking about things that make me uncomfortable. Dude, you have no idea what you're talking about. You obviously have never... I can't believe that there are people who are involved in video games that think this way. It's just terrible, and it's not good for video games. When you have people who think this way, like, oh, how dare you make a game that's actually about fun? What? When you have people with that kind of response to video games, you shouldn't be making video games. I'm sorry. That is a horrible way to look at video games. Video games are supposed to be entertainment. Video games are supposed to be a way for people to escape the real world problems, to get away, to enjoy something else entirely. Oh my gosh, honestly, it's just disgusting. It really is. I can't believe that there's people like this working on our video games right now, and it's just no wonder video games are such crap nowadays. Seriously, this is just awful. It just makes me so angry. Apologies, this all seems to be so bleeding obvious that I did it as an image so it's easier for y'all to skip. Okay, I'm not gonna even get into that. Anyway, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm not saying I don't include politics in my writing. The difference is the politics, whenever possible, were intended to within the context of events in the game world and the franchise, and sometimes the RPG genre. In the case of PST, exactly. Like all of you are completely missing the point of what Chris Avellone was saying in his statement. These people are just morons, and I can't believe that these people are the people that are running our video game industry right now. It's just insane. Anyway. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let me know in the comments below. What do you think about this? What do you think about Chris Avellone is saying? Go support Chris Avellone on Twitter. He deserves it. Give him a shout out or something for this article. He really does deserve it. We need to be people that stand up and give our praise to people who are actually standing up like this in the entertainment industry. We need to come around these types of people when they make these types of statements, because we need to encourage more of this. We are the consumers. We have the power to be able to encourage people like this when they actually take a stand against the absurdities happening in our entertainment industry right now. So go support Chris Avellone on Twitter. Give him a shout out. He really does deserve it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, then consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. And I will talk to you all very soon in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.